welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kayla and welcome. So my last meal prep video started getting thousands of views out of nowhere, and you guys were commenting on it, telling me to make more meal prep videos for my channel and that you really enjoyed it. So I am coming through for y'all today with another meal prep video. Again, it's gonna be specifically for fat loss and weight loss, and it's gonna be for a full 5-day work week. Now, just like in the last one, I went ahead and counted up all the macros for y'all for each recipe, and that information will be listed on my blog. But this time around, I also created a grocery shopping list for y'all just to make your life easier. So all of that information is going to be linked in the description box below. And just like in the last meal prep video, your calorie count is going to range anywhere from 1,400 to 1,600 calories per day, which is ideal for women trying to lose weight. Now, if you are a man trying to lose weight, you're going to want to take in about 1,800 to 2,000 calories per day. So feel free to double some of these recipes. And keep in mind that these numbers are just an average, meaning that most people will see results and lose weight with these meal plans. If you're sticking to them and you're still not losing weight, then you can either reduce the calorie intake, or you may want to work with a nutritionist and a doctor to see if there's any sort of underlying hormonal imbalances or nutritional deficiencies that may be hindering your weight loss results. But anyway, let's head to the kitchen and get started. So I'm going to start with prepping dinner because it takes the longest to cook, and we're going to be having this high protein turkey meatloaf, which is so good, by the way, and no, it is not dry. For the sides, we're going to have this cauliflower mash and some steamed broccoli. First, I'm going to chop up half of an onion, and it doesn't really matter how thin you chop it, it's really just based on your preference. And then in a skillet over medium heat, I'm gonna add the onion and a little bit of water. So that's one trick to save on calories, by the way, is to add a little bit of water instead of oil and cook your onions in that. Now you can also use vegetable stock or chicken stock, and just continue to cook those onions until they're slightly soft and translucent. And then I'm gonna add 2 minced garlic cloves and just continue to cook for another minute or so. Once those are done, go ahead and remove them from the stovetop. And in a mixing bowl, I'm gonna add 1.5 pounds of ground turkey, the cooked onions and garlic, 1/4 cup plus 2 tablespoons of ground flax seeds, 1 egg, half a teaspoon of black pepper, half a teaspoon of garlic powder, half a teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of paprika, 1 teaspoon of sea salt, and 2 teaspoons of Italian seasoning. It's all about those seasonings. Go ahead and mix that up until it's fully combined. And now I'm going to transfer the meatloaf mixture to a lined loaf pan, and make sure you really press it down firmly because you want it to be tightly packed. And for the sauce, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of raw honey to a small saucepan over medium heat, along with 1 6-ounce can of tomato paste. Go ahead and whisk that up, and be careful not to let the honey get too hot like I did. And then I'm going to add in 1 teaspoon of sea salt, mix that up. And now I'm going to spread the mixture evenly onto the meatloaf, and we're going to bake it at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for about 40 minutes. Now, while the meatloaf is cooking, I'm going to start prepping the cauliflower for the cauliflower mash. Using 1 large head of cauliflower, I'm just going to cut off as many of the stems as possible. And y'all know I love using my Ninja Foodi to steam my vegetables, but of course you can steam them on the stovetop as well. So in my Ninja Foodi, I'm going to add 2 cups of water, and using the air fryer basket, I'm going to add the cauliflower to that. And then I'm going to set the valve to the vent position, choose the steam option, and steam it for 10 minutes. Now after 10 minutes, I like to sort of rotate the cauliflower and then steam it for another 10 minutes. But the main thing is you want to make sure that your cauliflower is extra soft. Once it's done, I like to transfer the cauliflower to a saucepan to mash it up. So first I'm gonna mash it with a potato masher, and then I like to go in with my handheld immersion blender, and this is the secret to really getting your cauliflower mash extra smooth so that it resembles the texture of real mashed potatoes. I'm telling you, when you do this, even your kids are gonna love cauliflower mash. Now of course we gotta add in some flavor, so I'm adding in 2 tablespoons of grass-fed ghee, along with some pepper, sea salt, garlic powder, and dried parsley. Mix that up and just look at it, y'all. It almost looks like real mashed potatoes, and the flavor is amazing. So setting that aside, I'm gonna go ahead and steam the broccoli. Let's cut up 2 small heads of broccoli. And this time I'm going to use the rack with my Ninja Foodi, adding in 2 cups of water, setting the valve to the vent position, and steaming them for 10 minutes or until they're soft. And while the broccoli's steaming, I'm going to go ahead and prep our breakfast. So for breakfast, we're going to be having these overnight protein oats, and 3 of them will be banana bread flavor and 2 will be almond butter chia flavor. So for the banana bread ones, in each container, I'm going to add 2 ripe bananas that I've already mushed up with a fork and just distribute those evenly into each container. Half a cup of rolled oats, 2/3 to 3/4 cups of unsweetened almond milk, 1 tablespoon of your favorite protein powder, and I'm going to be using the unflavored collagen peptides from Primal Kitchen, 2 tablespoons of chopped nuts, and I'm going to be using walnuts, half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, half a teaspoon of cinnamon, a pinch of sea salt, half a tablespoon of monk fruit sweetener, and this of course is optional. You can also use 1 teaspoon of maple syrup instead, and 1 tablespoon of ground flax seeds. Go ahead and mix those up. And for the almond butter chia ones, in each container, I'm going to add half a cup of unsweetened almond milk, half a cup of rolled oats, 1 tablespoon of your favorite protein powder. Go ahead and mix that up. 2 tablespoons of almond butter in each container, and let's mix that again. And your sweetener of choice, again, I'm going to be using the monk fruit, 1 tablespoon of chia seeds, and then let's top it off with 1/4 cup more of the almond milk. And mix that all up again. And I'm gonna let those sit for a few minutes to thicken before I add the toppings. So in the meantime, let's go ahead and check on the broccoli. Once it's done, go ahead and transfer it to a bowl and season it with some sea salt and pepper. And once the meatloaf is done, you'll want to let it rest for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then you can go ahead and slice it. And so I cut it into 10 equal slices, so that way I would have 2 slices each day for dinner. But how good does this meatloaf look, y'all? And when you serve it with the cauliflower mash, oh, it is so good. I cannot wait for y'all to try it. All right, so it's time to assemble the meal prep containers for dinner, starting with the cauliflower mash. And then I'm gonna add 2 meatloaf slices to each container on top of the cauliflower mash. And then just place the steamed broccoli on the side, add your lids, and dinner meal prep is done. And by the way, I'm gonna link my favorite meal prep containers in the description box below. And going back to the overnight oats, let's mix them up one more time. And for the banana bread ones, I'm gonna add about 7 to 10 banana slices and then sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon over top. And for the other 2, I'm gonna add half a cup of fresh berries. Let's seal those up, and breakfast meal prep is done as well. And lastly, we need to prep lunch and a couple of snacks. So for lunch, we're having these paleo chicken nuggets along with this creamy cucumber dill salad. Starting with the nuggets, in a mixing bowl, I'm gonna add 1 pound of ground chicken, 1 teaspoon of sea salt, 3 tablespoons of coconut flour, 2 teaspoons of your favorite hot sauce, and I love this Siete brand because it has super clean ingredients, and 1 egg. Mix all that together until it's fully combined. And in a separate smaller bowl, I'm gonna add 1/3 cup of almond flour, 4 tablespoons of ground flax seeds, half a teaspoon of sea salt, half a teaspoon of garlic powder, half a teaspoon of onion powder, half a teaspoon of paprika, and half a teaspoon of chili powder. Give that a good mix. And now I'm gonna take about a tablespoon of the chicken nugget mixture, roll it into a ball, and then flatten it into a nugget shape to about 1/2 inch thick, and then lightly coat it with the almond flour mixture. Place that onto the lined baking sheet and just repeat that process until all of the chicken mixture is gone. Now, if you find that the chicken gets kind of sticky, then wet your hands a little bit, and that's gonna help with the stickiness. And by the time you're finished, this should yield about 20 chicken nuggets. So I'm gonna bake them at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 minutes. And while those are baking, I'm gonna go ahead and boil some eggs to have as a high protein snack in between meals throughout the week. And I'm also gonna cut up some fresh celery sticks. By the way, one trick to keeping your celery extra crunchy is to add it to a glass jar and then fill it with water, and then just store it in the fridge, and your celery will stay crunchy all week. Now I'm gonna add a couple tablespoons of almond butter to some small jars, and that way I'll have some pre-portioned almond butter to dip my celery sticks in as a snack throughout the week. So once the nuggets are done, I'm gonna remove them from the oven, and I'm gonna melt 3 tablespoons of grass-fed ghee. You can also use butter or coconut oil in a small bowl, and then I'm gonna add 1 to 2 tablespoons of hot sauce, and then I'm gonna brush each side of the nugget with this mixture. And this is really gonna take the flavor to the next level. And by the way, if you're not a fan of chicken nuggets, you can just substitute them with a grilled chicken breast for this meal prep menu. And let's bake the nuggets for another 5 minutes, and they are done. Next, let's prep this delicious creamy cucumber dill salad. I'm gonna start with some fresh dill and just de-stem and finely chop that. You're gonna want at least 2 tablespoons worth. Then I'm gonna take half of a purple onion and cut it into slices. I'm also gonna cut 2 large cucumbers into slices and then into halves. Add all that to a bowl. And then I'm gonna zest 1 large lemon. I'm also gonna add the juice from the entire lemon, and feel free to add more lemon juice to this if you want to. Next, let's add 1/4 cup of mayonnaise. I'm gonna use the Primal Kitchen avocado mayonnaise. Now you can also use Greek yogurt instead of mayonnaise for this recipe. I'm gonna grate 1 clove of garlic, add a little bit of sea salt and pepper, and 1 teaspoon of raw honey. And just give that a good mix until everything is combined. Make sure that all the cucumbers are coated with the mayonnaise and the lemon juice mixture. And look how good and fresh this salad looks. It's definitely one of my favorites. All right, now it's time to assemble our lunch containers, starting with the chicken nuggets. I'm gonna add 4 to each container, along with some of the cucumber dill salad. Now you can keep the salad in the mixing bowl and add it to your meal prep container whenever you're ready to serve, or you can go ahead and pre-portion them out now. The benefit of leaving them in the mixing bowl throughout the week is so that you can sort of toss the salad several times throughout the week, just to make sure that all the cucumbers are constantly staying marinated in the mayonnaise mixture, but that's completely optional. All right, so now our snacks and lunch is ready, and that means we are done. Another weight loss meal prep menu for a full 5-day work week. And don't forget, I will have all the links in the description box below where you can download the grocery list and print off all the recipes and macros. All right, y'all, there you have it. Another weight loss meal prep video for a full 5-day work week. Of course, if you enjoyed this meal prep video and you want me to make more, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and comment below to let me know. As long as y'all are loving it, then I'm gonna keep them coming. Don't forget, you can share this video with your friends and your family, and y'all can do these meal preps together and hold each other accountable. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button below and join the family. But that's it for today. I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.